Richard Dunn, right, is a West Yorkshireman, was a heavyweight boxer who fought Muhammad Ali for the world title in 1976. He defeated many top boxers at the time. He lost to Muhammad Ali, Joe Bugner, Jimmy Young, and Kali Konatze. However, he did beat some professional fighters, including big fighters of the time, Bunny Johnson, Johnny Griffin, and Danny McAlinden. He had a great fight career, and there's a lot of glory when you fought at heavyweight, as Richard did, collecting all those belts. And we're pleased to have Richard with us on the line. Richard, a very good evening to you,
Hi,
sir.
Richard.
Hi, Johnny. How you doing?
Oh, mate, thank you ever so much for giving your time tonight. Very, very privileged to have you on. You are part of Muhammad Ali's folklore. You fought the man, and you were a decent fighter yourself.
That's very kind of you. I just did my best.
Now, just, we knew that Muhammad Ali was ill for a long time, the wretched Parkinson's disease, which dominated really the last 2 decades of his life. Your reaction to his passing, first of all, Richard?
Very, very sad. I am the president of the Parkinson's disease UK in my area, so I see a lot of it all the time, and it's horrendous. I don't know how to cope. I really don't know how to cope.
And in Muhammad Ali's case, I mean, such a wonderful character in his youth, taken away. He couldn't even talk in the last 10 or 15 years of his life. I mean, that is a particular tragedy for someone who made preaching and talking such a central part of his personality.
Well, that was part of him, wasn't it? You know, I mean, that's what he was all about. That's how he got his fame, you know. I mean, and his boxing was brilliant anyway, but it was his talking mainly, you know, that got everyone to recognise him and know him and love him, because that's what they did. But you will now get some idiots, if you don't mind me saying he got Parkinson's disease because he was boxing. That, my friend, is a load of rubbish.
I'm pleased to hear that, Richard. So it was a completely separate issue to fighting on too long.
That's right. Well, it was. Listen, as I just said to you, I'm the president, and the lady who set it up also had Parkinson's disease, and she never boxed in her life. So, you know, how the hell do you go on? You know,
so Richard,
it's just ridiculous what they're saying.
So this story about the 1981 fight with Leon Spinks, and that he really took some terrible punishment, and the referee really should have stopped it earlier, has nothing to do with the onset of Parkinson's disease in his latter years.
Of course not. It could have fallen in the school playground, and that could have caused it.
You can never tell, can you? I mean, Michael J. Fox had Parkinson's, and he never had his head battered around. Yeah.
Well, that's it. It's just ridiculous. It's just what you're born with, and it's in your genes.
Now, you fought Ali, and you went 5 rounds with him until he knocked you down twice, windmilling him his right arm in a forewarning, and then the ref stopped the fight. What was that like? I mean, were you scared, or were you so proud to be facing Muhammad Ali?
I'm not being big-headed, or I have never been scared of anything or anybody in my entire life.
Yeah, well, you can't be really if you get in the ring with him.
That's true. No, you can't be scared. Yeah. It's it's wrong, isn't it? You know what I mean?
So what was it like? You know,
confident.
The bell goes, round 1. What was it like? You know,
get in there and try to do as much damage as you can.
Yeah,
I didn't, but I tried.
Was he dodging everything? You couldn't even touch him, or did you get a couple in?
Oh no, I got some real good shots, and especially the third round, I caught him with 2 or 3 in the corner, and it shook him. You know, I mean, because she told me so. But it was fantastic.
Richard, when you look back at that, and you did have a great career, I mean, you did earn the right to fight Muhammad Ali. You were British, Commonwealth and European champion.
That's right, yeah.
You know, you really earned the right. At the end of it, I mean, I remember you saying in another interview that you took 5 quick punches from him, and that really was the end of you. I mean, could you have any... Was there any point in that, you know, like you say in the third round, that you thought, I might have him here, like Henry Cooper might have had him as well?
Yeah, well, I mean, like if you hit him right and you catch him right, it could have happened. Yeah. It didn't, obviously, you know, I don't know, but if you don't try, you'll never find out, will you?
Well, they said it was an old commentator said it was an old-fashioned club kind of a fight. saying the American came out for war and he got a war from the Englishman. So you did us proud.
Right, he did. He did get a war. I wish he'd have got more of a war, but that's the way it goes, isn't it?
So what was it like? You know, tell us about the knockout blows. What was it like when you see him go? Did you know you were about to?
You don't actually remember them. I know it sounds silly, but you don't.
No.
Afterwards, you think, "Man, my jaw's hurting a bit. I wonder what I'm. I wonder what I'm there." But, there's no problem. I mean, like he'll have got a bit hurt as well. Don't get me wrong. I give him some good digs. To the body and to the chin. You know what I mean? But you don't even think about them. When the fight's over, it's surprising how easy the pain goes.
Well, that's pleasing to hear.
And then they go, I get your shower, get dressed, get home.
And you
go again.
Do you get the pain in the morning the next day, though, when the bruises come out? Is that normally when
I never got a pain at all, because next morning I was up early and I was packing and I was on my way home to meet my wife and kids. That's all that bothered me. I didn't bother about anything else.
Now, Richard,
go on.
When I was just going to ask you about the fact that you put up a really good fight against him, and Ali said that, you touched him, you hurt him. Did you think you earned another chance of a second shot at him, or was the list of challenges too long in 76?
No, I think I didn't deserve another chance, because my next two fights I got stuffed.
Right.
And so, to me, that was the end. I'd gone as far as I could go. And so I retired gracefully, and I got on with the rest of my life.
Well, you can't go wrong retiring after Ali, because you were 31 years old. So do you think you were better?
I was, yes.
Do you think you were better, if you would have been 26, 27? Would you think?
No, I think 31 would have been right, because don't forget, I didn't start while I was 20.
Yeah.
I had no amateur fights at all until I was 20 years of age.
Wow, that is late, isn't it?
First time. That's right. And I was 18 stone when I started. And by the time I started fighting, I was 15 stone.
Right.
And, so all the fat went off, and I started training really, really hard in the amateurs and in the pros. And the only reason I did that was because I loved it. It was brilliant. And I was going to provide for my family, which I did.
Richard, you said that at the start of your career you were 18 stone and 15 stone in your prime fight. Now, in the 70s, 15 stone was the average weight for a heavyweight, but now you are looking at 18 stone fighters. Do you think...
I know.
It's funny, isn't it? I mean, do you think that you would have been better suited to the fight game 3 decades later?
No, I don't. Like, I'm not trying to boast or be big-headed or brag or anything like that, but I don't think there's as many fighters as good as there was in the 70s. There's some brilliant fighters in the 70s.
Right. Yeah.
Some real crack ones. And I don't think they're as dedicated as there was then as they are now, if you know what I mean. Yeah. I think I've got that right.
No, I think you're right. Did you stay in touch with Muhammad Ali, or did you ever meet him again?
Yes, I met him 4 or 5 times afterwards. We stayed friends right till the end.
Lovely.
I think. I really love the man. The last time I saw him was 2 years ago down over in Manchester, and I said to myself, I will never go see him again, because he's not the man that I know. And I never went again. I was invited over to Dublin to be with him again, and I turned it down. I said no, because he don't know where he is. He don't like flying, and they're dragging him all over the world, earning money off him, and he's just a wreck.
Yes. Now,
and if you'd have seen him then, as he was years ago, there was no comparison whatsoever.
No. One of the sad things I think about today's world of sport is that it is so commoditized that if there was anyone like Muhammad Ali, he would be so protected by the media, by the box office, by the management, that he wouldn't be able to do all that highly personal stuff. His civil rights thing would be questioned. He wouldn't be allowed to be such an exposed political figure, Richard. And camaraderie was such a major part of your world, wasn't it?
It was. I agree with you there, yeah. Yeah. And I classed Ali as a friend, as I classed all my opponents. You know, I mean, you get in the ring, you knock 9 bells out of each other, and at the end of the fight, you give them a hug each and say bye, and off you go. And that's how it, that's how it was, and that's how it should be. But now, as you say, it's all political, which I'm not interested in.
Yeah.
Was he the greatest boxer of all time? I mean, do you think, in your mind?
He was, yes, he was.
Would he have beaten Tyson? I mean, I think he would have beaten.
I don't think Tyson would have hit him, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I really do.
He would have rope-a-dope.
He'd have walked all over him.
Yeah.
And I don't think Tyson had the punches to hurt him or harm him, because he was a tough kid with that Ali. You know, I mean, look what Foreman gave him for 8 rounds. He battered his body something ridiculous.
And then Ali made a fool of him.
He did.
Yeah.
And then you chinned him in the 8th round, and that was it. Done and dusted.
Richard, Ash just asked you if he was the greatest boxer of all time. Was he the greatest sportsman of all time?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like in boxing, yes. In football, no. In rugby, no. There's greats in each game. There's a great.
Yes.
Like the great Lewis Jones from Leeds, fantastic player. You know what I mean? And John Charles from Wales, and them are all great players in their own sport. Ali was fantastic in his sport.
Yeah.
I don't know what they call it, the greatest.
I'll tell you what, it's nice that you put John Charles ahead of Pele. I'm impressed by that. You must be from Leeds.
Well, I'm from Leeds, yeah.
I'm just checking. in which case, I might put Gary Shaw ahead of Pele then, being from Birmingham. But that's wonderful.
The first name that came into my head was John Charles.
Gentleman John. Gentleman John, indeed. And he had a great affinity, didn't he, with Britain? I mean, not just Yorkshire, because of course you were the only Yorkshireman ever to fight him, but he also had a connection in London and in Birmingham, and he made special points of making public appearances which were actually very intimate, very private.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had friends, no matter where he went, he had, you know what I mean, like he had people who loved him and, you know what I mean, wanted to look after him and protect him. You know, the ladies wanted to protect him, the men wanted to fight him, but still, you know what I mean, but still be friends with him.
That was the thing about him. He was friends with just like, he'd pick a group. I remember in Birmingham there was some group in Handsworth, and he'd just visit them every time he came here. So he wasn't concerned about, you know, meeting everybody. He'd even meet, a single person and be nice to them. You know, he was nice to one person. He was nice to hundreds of people. He was just a people
That's right,
person.
It was, yeah. I mean, did you hear the story about the people in Birmingham that he met in the street that were starving hungry? He put his hand in his pocket and he gave them all money to go get a meal each.
Yeah.
You don't do that these days.
No.
Or people don't do that these days.
No.
But he did. Because he'd probably seen it at home in America.
Yeah, and it was terrible what happened to him when he won the gold medal, and then they wouldn't serve him, you know, because he wasn't white, and he threw his gold medal in the river. Terrible what happened there.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Diabolical is that. Mm-hmm. But that's the Americans.
Now, another Yorkshireman by the name of Brian Clough. He had a big mouth.
Fluffy. He did, yeah.
And Muhammad Ali...
He backed it up, didn't he? He backed it up, you know, in Notts Forest. He said what he was going to do.
And he did it.
He did it.
Yeah.
And there was that...
Problem, you know what I mean?
There was that famous incident, wasn't there, between Muhammad Ali and Brian Clough, where Muhammad Ali looked down the camera lens and said, "Now I've heard about this guy called Brian Clough over in England, who's apparently got a bigger mouth than me. I'm Mr. Clough. You got to stop it." And Brian Moore, who was the commentator in the studio, said, "Brian, are you going to stop it?" And Brian Clough apparently said, "Stop it? No, I'm going to fight him."
Yeah, I've heard that.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It was. He had a fantastic natural instinct for self-promotion, but it was so believable. It wasn't. There was no staging about the stuff he did. The float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. All that stuff was from the heart.
He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew how to make money. I mean, if he'd have been a market trader, he would have been the best in the world. If he'd have been a joiner, he would have been the best joiner in the world, because that's the type of person he was. What he was going to do, he did. And, you know what I mean? And he made no bones about it at all. It was just one of them sort of people that no matter what he did, he'd have been the best at it.
Richard, it's been a fantastic opportunity to talk to you. Thank you so much for coming on and dedicating a part of your evening to paying tribute to Muhammad Ali. You were a good fighter yourself, and it must be very satisfying to look back in these years of your life to the fact that you did have a shot at the world title and you did take on one of the great fighters of all time.
Have you still got the gloves?
Yes, I have. And they're signed by him as well.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Richard.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you very, very much indeed for joining us tonight.
Okay, my friend. Listen, you take care and have a good one.
Thanks, Richard.
Richard, all the very best to you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. That is Richard Dunn. Richard Dunn, who fought Muhammad Ali in 1976, lasted 5 rounds for the world heavyweight title. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about Richard Dunn. He absolutely deserved his shot at the title because he was British, he was European, and he was Commonwealth champion.
Still didn't have a chance against the greatest.
The greatest of all time. We're going to take a short break here on talkRADIO.